The fluorescent lights buzzed like angry hornets overhead as I launched myself into the air. My sneakers squeaking against the gym floor in that split-second betrayal before gravity yanked me back down. My heart slammed against my ribs, not from the jump, but from the door creaking open behind me, spilling the shadow of Coach Harlan right into my secret world. "What the hell are you doing in here alone, kid?" His voice boomed, low and gravelly, freezing me mid-twirl with a basketball clutched like a lifeline, my face burning hotter than the summer asphalt outside. I landed hard, the ball slipping from my sweaty palms and rolling lazily toward his boots, as if it knew the truth I was too chicken shit to spit out. That was the moment everything cracked open. The awkward fumble that wasn't just about a dumb trick, but about the boy I'd been hiding from the world, the one who dreamed in stolen glances and midnight confessions to no one but the stars over Elmwood High. It was sophomore year in Elmwood, Ohio, the kind of small-town America where Friday nights meant football under floodlights and everyone knew your dad's truck by its rust spots. I was Alex Rivera, 15 and lanky, with hair that refused to stay combed and a jump shot that could light up the scoreboard if I ever stopped tripping over my own feet. Gym class was my escape, the one place where the chaos in my head quieted down to the rhythm of a dribble, thump-thump, like a heartbeat I could control. But lately, that control was slipping, tangled up in the broad shoulders and easy laugh of Coach Harlan, who everyone called Harl behind his back, like he was one of us instead of the 32-year-old god who patrolled our PE hours with a whistle and a wink. I'd started staying late after practice, telling myself it was to work on my form. Truth was, the empty gym felt like a confessional, walls echoing back the secrets I couldn't voice in the hallways where jocks like Tommy Reese slung slurs like dodgeballs. Tommy was the star quarterback, all golden boy charm until you crossed him, and I'd seen how he eyed anyone who didn't fit his straight arrow mold. Me? I was the quiet kid who sketched plays in his notebook margins, the one whose mom worked double shifts at the diner and whose dad had bailed before I could ask why. Staying late meant no one to answer to, just me and the hoop, perfecting tricks I'd seen on YouTube, behind the back passes, no-look fakes. That made me feel invincible, even if only for a breath. That afternoon in late September, the air still thick with the promise of fall leaves crunching underfoot, I'd pushed it further. I'd found this move online. A between-the-legs hesitation dribble into a reverse spin, flashy enough to turn heads if I ever mustered the guts for the team tryouts. The gym was deserted, sunlight slanting through the high windows like bars of gold, dust motes dancing in the beams. I wiped my palms on my shorts, the fabric clinging from the humidity, and bent my knees. One bounce, two. Feel the rhythm, Alex, don't think, and then I went for it. Legs apart, ball dipping low, a quick crossover, spin on the dime. For a heartbeat, it was magic. The world blurring, my body an extension of the leather in my hands. Then the door. And him. Coach Harlan stood there, arms crossed over his faded Elmwood Eagles polo. His dark hair tousled from whatever staff meeting he'd just escaped. His eyes, hazel, sharp as a fast break, locked on mine, and I swear the air thickened, charged like before a storm. "Rivera," he said, not moving, his voice cutting through the silence like a referee's whistle. "You trying to break your neck before homecoming?" I snatched the ball mid-roll, clutching it to my chest like a shield. My mouth went dry, words tangling in my throat. "Just practicing, coach. Didn't hear the bell." The final bell had rung 20 minutes ago. I could feel the heat crawling up my neck, staining my cheeks, the kind of blush that screamed everything I wasn't ready to say. He uncrossed his arms, stepping inside, the door swinging shut with a thud that echoed my pulse. "Practicing, huh? That looked like more than drills. Show me again." It wasn't a question, but there was no bark in it, just that quiet intensity he had, the one that made half the class straighten up without him raising his voice. I hesitated, glancing at the exit like it might sprout legs and run for me. But something in his stance, the way he nodded toward the court, patient, almost encouraging, pulled me back. "Okay, Alex, you got this. One more try." I dribbled out, slower this time, aware of his gaze like a spotlight. Between the legs, hesitate, spin. Cleaner now, the ball kissing my palm just right, and I finished with a soft layup that swished through the net. The sound was pure, a whisper of victory. "Not bad," he said, clapping once, the sound sharp in the empty space. "You've got flair, kid. Ever think about varsity?" My stomach flipped. Varsity meant eyes on me all season, Tommy's included. But hearing it from him, it was like sunlight breaking through clouds. "Me? Nah, I'm not ready. Team's got guys like Tommy who." "Tommy Reese is a showboat with a cannon arm." Coach cut in, his lip curling just a fraction. "Flair wins games when the crowd's done cheering. Stick around after school tomorrow. We'll work on it." He turned to leave then, grabbing a stray cone from the sideline, but paused at the door. "And lock up next time, Alex. Can't have you haunting my gym like a ghost." A grin flashed, quick and warm, before he was gone, leaving me alone with the fading echo of my name on his lips. That night, I lay in bed staring at the cracked ceiling of my room, the fan whirring lazy circles overhead. Mom was at the diner till close, the house quiet except for the distant hum of semis on I-75. My phone buzzed with a text from my best friend. "Mia, dude, saw you mooning over Harl in PE. Bill." Mia knew. She'd caught me sketching his profile in my locker doodles last spring. Called me out with that no bullshit glare of hers. Tomboy through and through, with a fade haircut and a laugh that could shatter glass. She was the only one I trusted with the truth. That the butterflies in my gut weren't from nerves, but from the way Coach's hand brushed mine passing a clipboard, electric and forbidden. I typed back, "Not mooning, just hoops." But my mind replayed the gym like a highlight reel. The spin, the swish, his grin. Flair. He called me Flair. In Elmwood, where being different meant dodging whispers and worse, that word felt like armor. Or a crack in it. The next day dragged. Algebra blurring into history. My notebook filling with half-formed plays instead of notes. Lunch was the usual. Mia shoving fries at me across the cafeteria table. Tommy holding court at the jock end with his crew, recounting some party exploit that had everyone howling. I kept my head down, but Mia nudged me. "Tryouts are in 2 weeks. You gonna chicken out again?" Last year, I'd frozen during drills, the weight of all those stairs too heavy. "Maybe this time," I muttered, stealing a glance toward the faculty table. Coach was there, head bent over a sub, oblivious. Or so I thought, until he looked up, our eyes meeting across the foam trays and chatter. He nodded, subtle, like we shared a secret. Heat flooded me again, and I ducked back to my tray. After school, the gym hummed with the after-hours crowd. A few stragglers shooting free throws, the cheer squad tumbling in the corner. Coach was at the whiteboard, marker squeaking as he diagrammed a zone defense. When he saw me, he waved me over. Rivera, ready to show off. The next hour was a blur of suicides, sprints that left my lungs burning, and one-on-one drills where he fed me passes with pinpoint accuracy. "Quicker feet," he'd say, tapping my ankle with the ball, his touch lingering a beat too long. Or "eyes up." His hand on my shoulder, steadying me after a fumble. Each contact was innocent on paper, coach to player, but in the storm of my head, it was lightning strikes, igniting things I didn't have names for yet. By the time we wrapped, sweat-soaked and breathless, the gym had cleared out. He tossed me a towel from the rack. "You're a natural, Alex. Keep this up, and Reese won't know what hit him." There it was again, that edge when he said Tommy's name, like old history bubbling under the surface. "You played with him?" I ventured, wiping my face, the towel muffling my voice. Coach's jaw tightened, just a flicker. "College ball. He was a freshman phenom. I was the senior has-been. Long story. Water under the bridge." He clapped my back. Harder than necessary, or maybe I was imagining it, and headed for his office. "See you tomorrow." I watched him go, the door clicking shut, and for the first time the gym felt less like a hideout and more like a stage. Act 1. The awkward entrance. But what came next? I didn't know, but damn if I wasn't hooked. The weeks blurred into a rhythm of stolen hours and sidelong glances, the gym becoming our unspoken territory. Coach Harl, as I dared to think of him in the privacy of my skull, pushed me harder than anyone, his critiques laced with that gruff encouragement that made my chest ache. Dig deeper, Alex. You've got fire, don't let it smolder. I'd nod, breathless, chasing the ball like it held the key to whatever this was brewing between us. Mia noticed, of course. You're glowing, weirdo, she teased during study hall, her elbow jabbing my ribs, like radioactive. Harl's got you lit up. Shut up, I'd hiss, but she'd just grin, knowing better. Mia was my anchor, the one who dragged me to her garage for practice talks last summer, forcing me to say it out loud. I'm gay, Mia, and it's terrifying. She'd hugged me then, fierce and quick, muttering, Elmwood's a shithole, but you're not alone. Own it, Rivera. Tryouts loomed like a thunderhead, the gym packed with hopefuls sweating under Coach's watchful eye. Tommy dominated, of course, his throws arcing perfect rainbows, his trash talk a constant drone. Watch the scrub try to keep up, he snorted once, loud enough for the bleachers, his gaze sliding my way. I swallowed the retort, focused on the drill. A fast break where I had to thread the needle past two defenders. My legs burned, vision tunneling, but I saw the lane open, felt the spin in my hips from all those late nights. The ball sailed true, net rippling, and for a split second, the room hushed. Coach's whistle pierced it. Rivera, on the wing, good cut. Praise in public, rare as a solar eclipse. Tommy's scowl could have curdled milk, but I floated on it, high-fiving the kid next to me. Jaden, a wiry freshman with braces and zero filter. Varsity spots dropped the next day. Tommy captain, predictably, with me slotted as utility guard. Backup bench warmer, he dubbed me later in the locker room, slamming his locker for emphasis. Don't get cocky, fag. The word landed like a sucker punch, casual cruelty that echoed off the tiles. Jaden tensed beside me, but I just stared at my laces, the sting blooming hot behind my eyes. Coach was across the room, barking orders, oblivious or pretending to be. That night, rain lashed the windows of my trailer, thunder rumbling like unspoken accusations. I texted Mia, made team. Tommy's a dick. Her reply pinged back. Knew you would. Drown the dick in your flare. Game plan? Survive. Simple as that. Practice ramped up. A gauntlet of conditioning and scrimmages that left bruises blooming like purple metals. Coach ran us ragged, his intensity a live wire, pacing the sidelines, clipboard in hand, calling plays with that authoritative snap. But with me, there were moments. A quiet solid after a steal, his fingers grazing my wrist as he adjusted my stance. Once, during a water break, he lingered. Hey, Alex, your old man's around? Could use a spotter for weights sometime. The question hung, casual but loaded. Dad had split when I was 6, a ghost in faded photos, last seen hauling ass to California with some waitress. Nah, it's just Mom and me. She's got the graveyard shift. His brow furrowed, a shadow crossing his face. Tough gig. My pops was the same, gone before I could throw a spiral. Builds character, right? He chuckled, but it didn't reach his eyes. Listen, if you need anything, ride home, whatever, doors open. I mumbled thanks, heart jackhammering, and jogged back to the huddle. Character. Yeah, that's what this was. The grind of wanting what you couldn't have, the pull of his kindness like gravity. Homecoming week hit Elmwood like a fever dream. Banners strung across Main Street, pep rallies that turned the quad into a sea of face paint and foam fingers. The game was against Rivorton, our rivals since the Stone Age, and the air crackled with it. I suited up in the locker room, the Eagles jersey hanging loose on my frame, nerves twisting like over-tightened strings. Rivera, you're in at the half if Tommy fouls out, Coach said pregame, his hand on my shoulder pad, squeezing once. The touch zinged, steadying and undoing me all at once. Play your game. Flair. Remember. The whistle blew, and the world narrowed to the roar. Crowd chanting, sneakers screeching, the ball a blur of orange. Tommy owned the first quarter, sinking threes like it was personal, but Rivorton clawed back, their point guard a demon with elbows like battering rams. By halftime, we were down 8, Tommy jawing at the refs, inches from a tech. Coach's speech was fire and brimstone, veins standing out on his neck. This is your house. Fight for every inch. His eyes swept the team, landing on me last, a nod that said you. When the buzzer sounded, he pulled me aside. Warm up. You're going in. The second half was chaos. Bodies colliding, whistles shrilling. Tommy checked in hot, but picked up his fourth foul early, cussing under his breath as he hit the bench. Don't fuck this up, scrub. He hissed at me, venom dripping. I stepped onto the court, legs jelly, the crowd a distant hum. Deep breath, thump thump, and the ball was in. First touch. Pass from Jaden, clean. I dribbled, felt the defenders closing, remembered the spin from that empty gym. Hesitate, crossover between the legs, open lane. I drove, leaped, laid it in soft as a whisper. Swish. The bench erupted, coaches yes. Cutting through. For the next 5 minutes it flowed. Steals, assists, a pull-up jumper that kissed the rim and dropped. We tied it, then took the lead, Elmwood side shaking the rafters. Tommy subbed back. Play turned sloppy. His glare burning holes in my back. But we held, clinching it on a buzzer beater from yours truly. Post-game locker room was pandemonium. High fives, Gatorade showers, coaches grin wide as the Ohio River. He found me at my locker, towel draped and buzzing. Kid, that was poetry. Proud of you. His hug was quick, backslapper style, but I felt it everywhere. A spark that lingered long after he pulled away. Later, at the bonfire down by the quarry, where kids smuggled beers and secrets, Mia dragged me into the circle, flames licking the night sky. My boy's a hero, she hooped, passing me a soda. Tommy was there, nursing a grudge and a flask, his crew orbiting like moons. Lucky shots. He slurred when he passed, close enough for whiskey breath to hit me. Won't last. I bit my tongue, but Jaden piped up. Dude, chill. Alex bawled out. Tommy's laugh was ugly, shoving Jaden's shoulder. Fresh meat defending the ferry? Cute. The words sliced, but before I could react, Mia was on her feet. Say it again, Reese. See what happens. Tension coiled, fists clenching. But Tommy just smirked and sauntered off, leaving the fire's warmth feeling suddenly thin. I crashed at Mia's that night, her couch a lumpy refuge. He's threatened, she said, tossing me a blanket. By you. By everything you're not afraid of. But I was afraid. Terrified of the what-ifs, of Coach's door opening too wide, of Elmwood swallowing me whole. The betrayal came swift as a blindside tackle. 2 weeks later under a slate-gray November sky. Practice had been brutal, Coach riding us for sloppy passes. His frustration a storm cloud. Focus. This isn't Pee-wee. Tommy, ever the spark, mouthed off. Ease up, Harl. Not all of us are washed-up pros. The room iced over. Coach's face went stone, whistle dropping from his lips. Lap it off, Reese. 10. Tommy complied, but not before shooting me a look. Like I'd ratted, like I was the wedge. After, as we filed out, Coach called me back. Alex, office. Now. His space was a shrine to faded glory. Trophies gathering dust, a framed Riverton jersey on the wall. Wait, Riverton? You played for them? I blurted, settling into the creaky chair. He leaned against the desk, rubbing his neck. Yeah, scholarship kid, full ride. Until he trailed off, eyes distant. Injuries and other shit. Dropped out junior year, came back here to coach. Pay it forward, you know? I nodded, throat tight. Sounds rough. Worse than rough. A beat, then softer. Tommy's dad was my QB. Pushed me hard. Too hard sometimes. Old wounds. The air shifted, confessional. I wanted to ask more, to bridge the gap, but he straightened. Anyway, about tonight. You're starting Saturday. Lead guard. Think you can handle it? Me? Starting. Elation crashed over me, words tumbling. Coach, yeah. Hell yeah. His smile was real, crinkling the corners of his eyes. Good. Now get home before your mom sends a search party. I left floating, the cold biting less sharp. But as I rounded the corner to the parking lot, shadows detached. Tommy and two of his goons, leaning against my bike. "Nice chat with Daddy Harl," Tommy drawled, flicking a cigarette but my way. "What did you tell him? That I'm soft?" "Nothing," I said, hands up, heart slamming. "Just plays." He stepped closer, breath sour. "Stay in your lane, Rivera, or I'll make sure everyone knows what a freak you are." A shove hard to the chest and I stumbled, bike clattering. They laughed, melting into the dusk, leaving me bruised and seething. I pedaled home furious, rain starting to spit, washing the sting but not the fear. Betrayal? Not yet, but the crack was widening, and I could feel the fault line running straight through the team, through me, through whatever fragile thing was growing with Coach. December crept in with its iron skies and the scent of pine from corner lots hawking wreaths. But the gym stayed my sanctuary, heated by effort and the undercurrent of possibility. Starting lineup meant real minutes, real stakes. Scouts from state whispering in the stands, college dreams dangling like carrots. Coach tailored drills just for me. Agility ladders that turned my legs to jelly, film sessions where he'd pause the tape on my moves, voice warm with analysis. "See that hesitation? That's your edge, Alex. Own it." Owning it meant navigating Tommy's minefield. Heat up his game, bodying me in scrimmages till ribs ached, muttering under his breath, "Faggot thinks he's hot shit." I'd flinch but fire back on the court. Steals that left him grasping air, crossovers that had the team hollering. Jaden became my shadow, chattering nonstop. "You're killing it, man." Reese is shook. Mia, from the bleachers, flashed thumbs-ups that felt like lifelines. One evening, post-drill, Coach caught me stretching, hammy screaming. "Form's off," he said, kneeling to adjust my leg. His hands firm on my calf, professional but sending sparks up my spine. Time stretched, the gym's hum fading to our breaths. "Better?" he asked, looking up, close enough I could count the stubble on his jaw. "Yeah," I whispered, voice cracking. Our eyes held. Too long, charged, and he cleared his throat, standing abrupt. "Hit the showers. Big game Friday." That night, alone in the steam of the locker room, water pounding my back, I let the dam break. Tears mixed with suds, the weight of it all crashing. The want, the wrongness, the whisper in my head that said he's straight, he's your coach, he's twice your age. But the heart doesn't listen to math. Friday's game against Central was a grinder. Snow flurrying outside the arena lights. I started hot. 10 points first quarter, dishing assists like candy. But Central's press suffocated us. Tommy forcing shots that clanged off iron. Halftime down 12. Coaches huddle electric. Adapt. Rivera call audibles. Reese, feed the hot hand. Tommy's glare could melt steel, but I nodded, owning the floor. Third quarter turned on a dime. I broke their trap, hit Jaden for a dunk that shook the backboard, then drained a three off a screen. Crowd on feet. "Eagles! Eagles!" Tommy fed me next possession, grudging but there, and I spun baseline, laying it home reverse. Up by 2. Final buzzer. 68-65, our side. Locker room euphoria, but Tommy cornered me by the sinks. "Don't get used to it," he snarled, water running cold between us. "You're a fluke, and Harl's just pity coaching your ass." "Pity?" I shot back, anger flaring. "Maybe he's coaching actual talent." His fist connected fast to the gut, doubling me over. "Watch your mouth, queer." Gasps rippled, Jaden yelling. But Coach burst in then, hauling Tommy back by the collar. "Outside. Now." The fallout was swift. Tommy benched for the next game. Parents called. Whispers of suspension. Coach pulled me aside after, office door shut tight. "You okay?" I nodded, wincing as I sat. "Yeah, he's just pissed." "More than that." Coach sighed, pinching the bridge of his nose. "Tommy's carrying my baggage. Back in college, I got hurt bad. Knee shredded, dreams done. His dad blamed me, said I pushed too hard in practice. It ended my ride, and there's two in a way. Reese Sr. never forgave. Passed it down like a curse. The pieces clicked. The jersey, the edge in his voice. That's why you coach? Partly. To fix what I broke. And 'cause guys like you, he trailed, eyes softening. You remind me who I was before it all went south. Hungry. Real. Real. The word hung, pulling me in. Coach Harl I. But the bell rang distant, shattering it. Gotta go, I mumbled, fleeing before I said too much. Christmas break loomed, a reprieve laced with tension. Mom strung lights on our trailer porch, the glow chasing shadows, but money was tight, her tips jar half full, my holiday job at the gas station barely covering gloves. Coach texted, first time. Gym open tomorrow? Light shoot around. I replied hell yes, heart leaping. The holiday session was just us. Snow blanketing the lot outside, gym cozy under halftime lights. We ran plays, laughed over botched threes, shared vending machine cokes like equals. Midway he paused, ball under arm. Ever think about after high school? Scouts asking. Community college, maybe. Ball scholarship if I'm lucky. Dream small, Alex, Elmwood 101. He shook his head. You're more than lucky. You've got soul. Don't let this town dim it. His hand on my shoulder again, thumb brushing collarbone accidental on purpose. The air crackled, and I leaned in stupid, bold. Our faces inches, breaths mingling. Then his phone buzzed, shattering. He stepped back, flushing. Parents. Shit, gotta run. Merry Christmas. Kid. Kid. The word stung, a wall slamming down. I biked home through flurries, chest hollow. Soul? Yeah, and it was tearing me apart. New Year brought resolutions and revelations. Back at school, Tommy slunk through practices like a wounded wolf, benched but plodding. Whispers spread. Notes in my locker. Freak. Tires slashed on Mia's bike. She confronted him in the hall. You're doing. He smirked. Prove it. But the real knife came mid-January. State playoffs seating us third. Coach called a team meeting, film rolling on our last win. Midway, he froze the frame me mid-spin. This is what wins. Pride swelled, but Tommy snorted. Flair from the fruitcake? Please. The room tensed, eyes darting. Coach whirled. Reese out. My office. But Tommy stood, defiant. Ask him why he's always late with you, Harl. Special lessons? It landed like a bomb. Snickers rippled, Jaden shifting uncomfortable. Coach's face drained. That's enough. Dismissed. I bolted, humiliation burning, locker slamming behind me. Mia found me outside, snow-dusted. Ignore the asshole. He's lashing. But doubt festered. Was it obvious? The late nights, the looks. Did everyone see? Coach texted later. Meet me. Track. Dawn. I went, shivering in the pre-dawn chill, floodlights casting long shadows on the rubberized oval. He jogged up, tracksuit zipped high. Alex, about Tommy. Forget him. I cut in, voice raw. Is it true? Do I make you look bad? He stopped, breath clouding. No. God, no. You're the best part of this job. A pause. Heavy. But we gotta be careful. Rumors. They stick. Careful. The word walled us off, but his eyes, pleading, cracked it. I don't want careful, I whispered. I want. Don't. Soft, pained. Can't. He turned, leaving me in the gray light, the betrayal not his, but the world's. Timing rules the chasm of years. Playoffs hit like a freight train. First round against Hamilton, a buzzer-beater 3 from me sealing it. Quarters against undefeated Lincoln. Tommy redeemed, starting again, his passes laser-sharp to me in a truce born of necessity. We advanced, Elmwood delirious, parades down Main. Semis in Columbus, the big house, our shot at finals. Nerves shredded me, but coach's pregame. Play for each other. No regrets. I nodded, his gaze holding mine, promise, warning. Game time. Intensity dialed to 11. Lincoln's bigs mauled us inside, but our guards flew, me and Tommy sinking in a rhythm forged in fire. Halftime tied, coach's adjustments gold. Switch screens, forced turnovers. I stole one, fed Tommy for the N1, crowd thundering. Fourth quarter, down 3 with 2 minutes. I drove, spun, contact, whistle. Foul line, 2 shots. First swished, second rimmed out. Rebound scramble. Tommy tipped it, I tapped back, he buried the 3. Led. But Lincoln answered, tie game, 10 seconds. Inbound to me, full court, clock ticking. Dribble, hesitation. Defenders swarming. I crossed over, pulled up from logo, airball. Heart stop. Timeout. Coach screaming. One more. Fight. Final play, screen from Tommy, I curl, open. Pump fake. Drive. Layup good. Buzzer. Eagles by 2. State finals bound. Elation exploded. Hugs. Tears. Coach lifting me off the ground in a bear hug that blurred every line. You did it, Alex. We did it. In that crush of bodies, his whisper at my ear. Proud doesn't cover it. My arms tightened, world fading to his warmth. Betrayal forgotten, just us, victorious. Finals week collided with finals prep. A whirlwind of cramming and court time that left me running on fumes and Gatorade. Elmwood buzzed, final for fever gripping the town. Billboards with our faces, local news hounding coach for quotes. Rivera-Reese duo, unlikely heroes? The Gazette splashed, glossing over the bad blood like it was ancient history. Tommy played the part, slapping my back in interviews, but his eyes were daggers, and the slashed tires escalated. My backpack rifled, queer scrawled on my stall in the John. Mia and Jaden formed a buffer, but the isolation gnawed. Coach noticed, pulling me for extra film that were really heart-to-hearts. Block it out, he'd say, our knees brushing under the desk. You're bigger than their smallness. His faith was oxygen, but the tension simmered. Stolen touches, loaded silences that left me aching. The night before the big dance, state finals against powerhouse Dayton. I couldn't sleep, rain drumming the trailer roof like impatient fingers. Mom, bleary from her shift, brewed cocoa. Proud of you, Mijo. Your dad's watching wherever he is. Her hug smelled of grease and love, steadying the storm. Dawn brought Coach's text. Track. Clear head. I met him there, mist rising from the turf, world hushed. We ran laps, pace easy, breath sinking. Midway, he slowed. Alex, about the other morning. Save it. I panted, stopping. Just coach me through tomorrow. That's enough. But it wasn't. His face crumpled, hand reaching then dropping. It's not fair. To you. This. I'm supposed to protect you, not what? Make me feel seen. Words spilled, dam breaking. For once, someone sees me, Harl. Not the trailer trash, not the gay kid dodging fists. You. He closed the gap, forehead to mine, breaths ragged. I see you. God. Too much. His voice cracked, hand cupping my neck. Tender, electric. Time suspended, lips inches, the pull magnetic. Then horns blared, bus pulling up for the team hotel. He jerked back, cursing. Go. Win this. The arena in Cleveland was a coliseum, 10,000 strong, banners waving like battle flags. Dayton was a machine press that choked shooters with ice water veins. We jumped out hot, me hitting 2 early threes, Tommy bullying inside. Up 6-1. Halftime. Nodded at 32. Coach's fire. Their legs go first. Where am? Second half, Dayton surged. A 12-2 run that buried us under 8. Tommy fouled out midway, snarling as refs escorted him. His glare promising hell. Bench time, coach subbed me point full time. Lead him, Alex. I did, dishing to Jaden for cuts, pulling up from deep. Tied with 4 minutes, crowd a roar. Dayton star drove. I stripped him clean, outlet to wing swish. Led. But they answered, free throws clanging our rhythm. Down 2, 1:20 left. My ball. Top of key, clock winding. Screen from the big curl right open. Green light. I rose, wrist flick, rim out. Rebound, there's fast break, dunk. Down 4, 45 seconds. Our possession, ISO for me. Dribble, jab step, spin, baseline drive, contact from their center. Whistle, foul, and 1. Heart in throat, I sank both, cut it to 2. Timeout. Coach's eyes locked. 1 stop. 1 shot. Defense. We swarmed, Jaden poking the ball free. My steal. Full sprint, no time for pretty. Euro step, layup, good. Tie. Crowd insane, Dayton calls timeout. Their turn. Inbound, pick and roll. I fight over screen, contest the jumper, bricks. Tip scramble, ours. 10 seconds, ball to me. Cross full court, call screen, hesitate between legs, pull up from 25. Arcing perfect. Swish. Nothing but net. Buzzer. Eagles 72-70. Pandemonium. Teammates piling. Fans storming. Confetti raining. State champs. I stood dazed, metal heavy around neck, until coach bowled through, hugging fierce. You're the heart, Alex. In the crush, his lips brushed my temple. Accidental? Intentional? A spark that ignited everything. We pulled apart, grinning like fools, but the promise lingered. Back in Elmwood, parade down Main. Fire trucks blaring, us on floats waving like royalty. Tommy, sullen beside me, muttered, "Don't think this erases shit," but his shove lacked heat, the win a temporary bomb. The real storm broke that night, victory party at the quarry raging, bonfires, kegs, kids loose on adrenaline. I stuck to the edges with Mia and Jaden, soda in hand, watching flames dance. Coach arrived late, jacket slung over shoulder, blending with the shadows. Our eyes met across the fire, a nod pulling me away. We walked the tree lean, crunch of gravel underfoot, stars pricking the velvet sky. "Champ," he said, voice low. "How's it feel?" "Like flying." Pause. "Harl, what are we?" He stopped, face shadowed. "Complicated. Care too much. But I'm your coach. You're 17 next month. It's wrong." "Wrong." Hurt flared. "Or just scary?" "Both." He raked hands through hair. "I came out late college after the injury. Lost friends, family iced me. Then coaching. Swore I'd keep it pro. But you." A twig snapped. Tommy, stumbling from the woods, flask in grip, eyes bleary. "Harl? That you with the princess?" Slur thick, he lurched closer. "Knew it. Pity fuck for the fag." Coach stepped forward, shielding. "Back off, Reese. You're drunk." Tommy laughed. "Ugly. Or what? Bench me again? Dad was right, you're a joke. And he's your little bitch." Fist flew, Tommy's wild, clipping Coach's jaw. Chaos. I shoved back. "Get off him." Jaden sprinted up, Mia yelling for help. Punches traded, grunts and curses, until cops' sirens wailed, scattering the party. Station house. Fluorescent hell, Mom frantic beside me, Coach with a split lip, Tommy cuffed and raging. Statements blurred. Assault, underage drinking. The town gossip mill churning before dawn. Suspension for Tommy, inquiry for Coach. Inappropriate relations? The principal grilled next day, eyes boring. Rumors from the team. My blood ran cold. Nothing, just coaching. But the seed was planted, whispers growing. Harl's got a favorite. And not the straight kind. Coach called me to his office that afternoon, door ajar, resignation letter on desk. "I'm out, Alex, before they drag us both." "No," panic clawed. "Fight it." "Can't." His voice broke. "You're my weakness. This us, it's poison here. Go to college, ball, live free. Forget Elmwood. Forget me." Tears hot. "Can't forget you." He pulled me close. One last hug. Desperate. "You have to. For you." Then he was gone. Truck peeling out. Taillights fading into dusk. Betrayal's bitterest cut. Not Tommy's fists, but this love clipped before bloom. Sacrificed on the altar of small-town fear. The aftermath was a slow bleed. Elmwood's triumph soured by scandal's shadow. Coach's exit hit the papers. Star mentor resigns amid probe. Facts twisted into innuendo. My name mercifully spared, but the stain invisible, seeping. Practices limped under interim. Tommy reinstated with a slap wrist. His smirks triumphant. "Told you," he'd mutter passing drills. The team fracturing along fault lines. Jaden loyal, others drifting to silence. Mia raged for me. Bullshit system. She'd spit. Driving us to Columbus for college fairs. Brochures promising escape. Mom, sensing the fracture without words, left diners' shifts early, cooking tamales that tasted of home. Men come and go, Mijo. Heart stays. But mine was adrift, replaying that hug, his whisper. For you. Spring thawed the fields, but not me. Tryouts for AU loomed, scouts circling. I poured it into ball, late night solo in the gym, spinning tricks till muscles screamed. Flare? It was armor now, deflection. One evening, Jaden found me there, ball echoing. Dude, you're a ghost. Talk. So I did, halting, the whole mess spilling. The pull, the punch, the goodbye. He listened, no judgment. Then, Harl was right. You're bigger. But don't erase him. Let it fuel. Fuel. I texted coach that night. First since scouts at AAU. Thinking OSU. Reply came dawn. Knew you would. Shine, Alex. Always. AU circuit was a grind. Tourneys from Akron to Indy. Hotels smelling of chlorine and sweat. I balled out 20-5-4 averages. Crossovers that went viral on local highlights. OSU coach pulled me aside post-championship run. Scholarship material. Depth. Heart. We want you. Home to tell mom. Tears in her eyes. Me campion. Mia threw a rager, small, safe. Jaden toasting. To Rivera, Elmwood's export. Graduation dawned muggy. Caps tossed under a sky bruised purple. Valedictorian droned on destiny. I scanned the crowd, half hoping, half dreading. No Harl, just a card in my locker pre-ceremony. Proud. H scribbled and signed, but his. Summer blurred. Job at the rec center coaching kids. Their wide eyes reminding me of my own hunger. Tommy shipped to a JC out west. Last glare a concession. Whispers faded. Elmwood moving on to next drama. Then, late July, a knock. Porch light flickering. Mom at bingo. There he stood. Coach Harlan, duffel at feet. Stubble thicker, eyes wary. Passing through. Heard about OSU. Full ride. I leaned on the jam. Pulse thunder. You. Assistant at a D2 upstate. Fresh start. Pause. Heavy. Missed this. Missed you. The air hummed, old sparks reigniting. Come in. Kitchen table. Coke's sweating rings. Words tumbling. His probe cleared. Quiet months healing old wounds. Family thawing. Therapy unpacking the closet's weight. I was scared, he admitted. Of hurting you. Of being the villain. You're not. Hand over his tentative. You saved me. Gave me flair. He turned it, lacing fingers. You had it. I just saw. Dawn found us walking the quarry trail. Sun gilding the water. Stories flowing easy. No rush. No lines crossed. Just two souls, scarred but sinking. College first, he said, stopping at the overlook. Ball. Grow. Then. Maybe. Maybe. I grinned. The awkward boy from that empty gym a memory. Evolved. Fall hit. OSU a whirlwind. Buckeye Scarlet lectures that sparked. Court time as freshman phenom. Texts with Harl became calls. Late nights dissecting games, his laugh a bomb. Mia visited, Jaden pledged frat. Mom sent care boxes of jerky and pride. Winter break, I drove north. His campus blanketed white. Arena echoing our first hello. Dinner off campus. Diner booths scarred like old friends. This okay? He asked, hand on mine across fries. Better than. Lips met then, soft, sure, the world's rules bent by miles and time. No rush, just right. Years folded, degree in sports psych, pro tryouts that fizzled but coaching calls that rang. Harl climbed to head coach at a mid-major. Me his assistant, partners on sideline, equals off. Tommy? Crossed paths at a clinic once. Nod exchanged, history buried. Elmwood faded to fond scar. The awkward moment birthing something true. Love, humanistic in its mess. Forged in betrayal's fire, tempered by grace. We built a life house with a hoop in the drive, kids we mentored, not made. Romantic, in the quiet winds. His hand in mine at games, my spin shot still drawing his grin. Life's no highlight reel. Conflicts linger, climaxes crest and crash. But in the spin, the swish, we found our rhythm. Flare eternal.